Ken, a big day for you. Can you talk about what you like most about Zach Hyman from an opposing standpoint? Obviously, you saw an awful lot of him this year when he played the Leafs, played the Oilers.
Well, he's a guy that can play up and down the lineup, play right wing, play left wing. I think he had 43 points in 53 games, so he can play with skilled players, but he also can play, with a grinding game. I think one of his greatest trait is his compete, his work ethic. He's a forechecker. He's relentless. He's on the puck, and I think that we needed to, along with Warren Fogle, we've got two forwards I think that are going to, they're going to get in the forecheck and try to create more pressure in the offensive zone so that we're more than a rush team. We want to we want to get in the forecheck as well. So that's what Zach brings.
And it looks like often a player of Zach's caliber does a lot of the grunt work along the boards and stuff, but that doesn't necessarily mean he can play with great players, and he obviously played with them in Toronto. So what other intangible do you see there that a lot of players who are grinding kind of players can't play with star players? And why do you think he's been able to?
I think he's got great hockey sense. Obviously, when you're going to play with star players, and he's obviously played with, they've got some of the greatest young players in the game in Toronto. You got to think at their level. And, so he's got tremendous work ethic. He's got, he can think at the level that the star players can think at, the superstar players, but he also can play a game down the lineup where he can play, if he's playing with other players or maybe playing a different style of game, a grinding game or a forechecking game, he can read off those players and play that kind of game as well. And at the same time, he can do it playing right wing and playing left wing. So he's going to bring tremendous amount of versatility to our lineup.
Daniel Nugent-Bowman, The Athletic.
Hi, Ken. It's no secret that you obviously wanted to keep Adam Larsson. When he left, how did it kind of change the dynamic in the way that you wanted to build your defense? And do you think Cody Ceci is kind of the replacement for Adam Larsson on your blue line in the way that they play?
We did want to obviously I negotiated with Adam Larsson for many months. I think that, over the last few days, I had lots of talks with Pat Brisson on Tyson Barrie. Tyson led all defensemen in the league in points. Certainly, I know that he's played with some high-octane superstar players here, but he's another guy that can obviously think at their level and helped us have a number one power play. So, once I made the decision to get Tyson Barrie signed, I'd been also in communication with lots of other defensemen because you got a many lines, I guess, in the water. You can't just be talking to one player in case you lose them. Got a call yesterday from J.P. Barrie and Cody Ceci, and Cody said that through J.P. that he wanted to come join us here in Edmonton. We did a lot of checking. He played very well in Pittsburgh this year. He's 27 years of age. Did the deal, and then once made the decision to sign Cody and re-sign Tyson. Having Evan Bouchard and Ethan Bear, I didn't want to go with four right shot defensemen again. Last year, obviously, we weren't able to get enough ice time for Evan Bouchard, so made the deal with Carolina to trade Ethan there for a top nine forward in Warren Fogle.
You obviously, getting Warren Fogle, you have a very useful, helpful player to your team. But how tough was it to give up on Ethan Bear or to trade him, 24-year-old defenseman? And do you think you're finished adding to your blue line?
Well, I found through my 25 years in the league, it's hard to trade people because, you know them as people, and you know them as hockey players. I'm back in the locker room, and you know them as people. So, Ethan's a great young man, and like I said, he's 24 years of age. But I also have an obligation, responsibility to try to make moves to make the team better. And I just walked you through that whole scenario. So it was tough. And what was the other question, Daniel?
Sorry, just being unmuted there. I just wonder if you're finished on tinkering with the blue line. Yeah.
No, not finished tinkering on the blue line. Probably, we're looking maybe add one more guy, but obviously we've got Lagesson and we've got Chris Russell, so could possibly do something on one more guy. I'm not sure. Going to kind of let the dust settle here over the next couple of days and see where we go.
Derek Van Diest, Post Media.
Hi, Ken. When it comes to Warren Fogle, what did you guys like about him to bring him in here?
Well, like his size, 6'2". He comes from a really good program. Obviously, in Carolina, they've done a lot of winning the last 2-3 years. Been a good regular season team and went to the Final Four, I think, a couple of years ago. He's a big, strong guy, 6'2", 200 pounds. He can skate. He goes to the blue paint. He's dependable. I think going into this free agency period, with the addition of Zach Hyman and the addition of Warren Fogle and with the continued development of Yamamoto and Puljujarvi, re-signing Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, we got Connor and Leon, Zach Cassian. I'd like to think that we've got, we can put two lines together for sure, and love to be able to get three lines that can chip in with some offense. So, I just think that ultimately it was about, once I made a decision to sign Ceci and re-sign Barry, that we had a defenseman to trade, and I wanted to get a forward that could play left wing and get in the forecheck. Has good speed. He's big and strong, and just try to get a little bit deeper up front.
Thanks, Ken.
Yep.
Jason Gregor, TSN 1260.
Good afternoon, Ken.
Jason.
Just, when you look at your team now overall, like you mentioned, maybe another add on defense. Clearly that the center ice position, something you're looking at. Would you consider a winger and have Nugent-Hopkins at center, or do you prefer have Nugent-Hopkins in your top six and get a third line center?
Well, Jason, we're not. I'm hoping. I got. Training camp starts the middle of September, so it's still 2 months away.
That was Ken Holland. Take a quick break, and then we will come back more with Ken Holland at Sports Center TSN.
Jason, Ken still answering your question.
Hey, Jason. Basically, there's 2 more months to go. I think if you look at our team right now, obviously, Connor, Leon, Nuge can play in the middle. Devon Shore's played in the middle. I talked to Ken Hitchcock this morning. He had Devon Shore in Dallas and said he played a lot of center for him in Dallas. Ryan McLeod, so we've got, we've got some people on our team that can play in the middle. Obviously, I understand the importance of the third line center spot. Those are hard to find. So I think that, again, there's a couple more months. I'd like to find another player that can play in the middle and give us some depth, and then does and then it's up to the coaching staff to see where they all fit and how it all fits together.
Gene Principe, Sportsnet.
Sorry, pardon me, Ken. Sorry for the delay. I remember we talked. I think it was after the Duncan Keith trade before the draft, and you discussed sort of the day, this day, and what would sort of, what you were looking for, but you mentioned you still have more moves to go, but how would you I think Oiler fans would look at today and say, geez, it's a pretty good day for the Edmonton Oilers, but I wonder, for you, how you feel about what you were able to accomplish through signing and trade.
Well, I mean, I really believe that, we're deeper up front. Like I said, it's the additions of Hyman and Fogle, and then obviously, I think I've said this to you, all of you on past media availability. Certainly the continued development of Yamamoto, Ryan McLeod, Jesse Puljujarvi is also part of the solution. So, those three players are going to be a year older next year. Ryan McLeod's coming off a great year in the American League, dipped his toe in the water there for 10 games or so in the at the end of the NHL season. So you're adding a couple players, and when we need some growth. So I'd like to, there's no doubt that we're deeper up front. I think that certainly with the addition of Duncan Keith, behind Darnell Nurse, and then you've got, we saw what Tyson Barrie could do last year. Obviously, we lost Larson, but we re-signed Cody Ceci, and there's another young guy back there in Evan Bouchard. We're hoping that he can grow into, he's going to be in there on an every night basis, and I'm hoping that over the course of the season that he can grow up to play, a bigger role and compete for minutes on the first and second pair. That's the goal. I mean, we need that. We need internal competition, and if Evan can push, that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. So I think that I believe that we're deeper on the back end. I believe that we're deeper on the front end. I think obviously with the addition of Fogle and Hyman, we've got ourselves. We're bigger with skill. So. Feel pretty good today, but still kind of exploring. We don't have a lot of money left. We do have a little bit of money left, so I'll see what goes on here over the next few weeks.
Ken, just as a follow-up, one of the things you've said often, both here and in Detroit, about reacting but not overreacting. When you look at the first round of the playoffs, the team was, still close to maybe even winning games and moving on. But do you feel like today was kind of a statement day? Some teams just tinker and add a third liner or a sixth defenseman, but you went out and got stuff accomplished. I wonder if there's I said statement, I'm not sure if that's the right word, but a point that you're trying to make that here's what we need. I went out and got it. I'm going to try and continue to get whatever else we need.
I don't know if it's a statement. I really believe. I've been here for 2 years. Obviously, when I come in, we were kind of strapped under the cap and kind of patched away. And over the 2 years, we did some things. Obviously, bought out James Neal to free up some money. James gave us a great first year, and then it was a tough year this year. He came in with COVID and wasn't able to be in training camp, and then didn't really come until 4, 5, 6 games in. And you're 33 years of age, and now you're 2-3 weeks behind everybody. It's a sprint to the finish line, and made a decision to buy out James, obviously, which freed up some cap space. And when you look at the core of the team, and we had a really good regular season last year, and it was a 4-game sweep, but 3 of the games went to overtime. Obviously we got to take those experiences last year, the Chicago disappointment in the play-in series, then last year's playoff, and I think that's a part of the solution. Is you got to try to be a playoff team every year. I think I've said that before, and stick with it. And I felt going into the off season that I needed to do a couple of things to try to change our team, make our team better, different. At the same time, hopefully, I believe we can be a really, I think we were 11th, 12th overall and 11th overall the last 2 years. So we were pretty good, but not good enough. So hopefully the moves that we've made so far, along with the growth of some of the young players that I've talked about, can allow us to kind of, continue along that path. And obviously we've got an incredible core that's really coming into their prime years. So I felt a responsibility and obligation as the manager to try to, build a little bit deeper supporting cast as we head into this season.
Ryan Rashog, TSN.
Hey, Ken, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Just wanted to ask on the what you made of the goaltending market, if had much in the way of discussions there, and if there isn't something to be had there beyond signing Mike Smith, are you comfortable returning the pair that you had last year?
Well, I mean, obviously I re-signed Mike Smith, a while ago. I thought Smitty was, one of our most, he's in goal. He was one of our most important players last year. I know it's going to be a different year this year than last year. Our road trips last year, we'd fly into Winnipeg, we'd play a game, we'd have an off day, we'd play another game there, and we'd maybe fly on another city on an off day. There's going to be more back-to-backs, and you're playing your games in different cities, so I don't know that Mike can play. I think after the first 10 games, he missed the first 11 games. I think he played like 34 of the next 46. I don't know that he's going to be able to play that amount of hockey in a regular NHL schedule. But certainly believe that over 40 games, half the season, that's Smitty can play, 35 to 45 games. We could get some real good hockey out of Smitty, even though he's 39. And it's not only his puck stopping ability, it's what he means in the locker room. It's his ability to handle the puck, his leadership. And then I think over the last 2 years, in the regular season, we've had our goaltending has been good. I mean, I think that when you make the playoffs 2 years in a row, your goaltending is good. We didn't get very good. Our goaltenders didn't play in the Chicago play-in series probably as well as we needed to be, but I didn't think our team played as well. And I thought this year in the playoffs, Smitty was in there. One game was 1-0 in overtime. It was 0-0 after regulation. I think another game was 2-1. I think our goaltending has not been. I certainly know that Smitty's 39, Koski's 33. I understand the people talking about the goaltending, but once I make Mike Smith, obviously you've got a cap, you've got contracts, and I have to make decisions around those. Contracted players. So I feel that our goaltending has been solid the last 2 years, and getting a little bit deeper up front and a little bit deeper on the back end. It will help our goaltenders be better too, because we'll play better team defense and maybe score a little more secondary scoring.
Did anything surprise you, or was there anything really notable to you in terms of the market, prices paid for D-men, or was there anything that raised your eyebrow today just in the landscape that maybe you weren't expecting?
No, I mean, Ryan, if you look today, defensemen go three, if they play regular and they play in your top four, even the top five, they make threes and fours. They make a cap in AAV in the threes and fours. And you had that wave there the first 3-4 hours that, they were coming down one after the other, so defensemen are you're in competition. There's another team in the National Hockey League in Seattle, so, if you weren't prepared to put a little term with it, you were left out. I think that there was a free agency period in October last year, and this year's free agency felt more like other years' free agency, where there's more term and there was more going on, and it was happening quick.
Jim Matheson, Post Media.
A couple of things. Ken, were you interested? I don't know if Ryan Getzlaf has signed yet. Were you interested in him? Well, he's a free agent, so I guess you can talk about it.
Yeah, he just re-signed in Anaheim.
Okay.
I think. So I haven't really. I guess, Jim, at the end of the day, I would say to you, I don't want to talk about any specific players. We talk about all the players, and we're ready to go. When you know, when the gun goes off, you know, the free agency starts, we were ready to go, and we talked to all the people that we talked to. But I think at the end of the day, you know, for me, you know, obviously we knew we had Zach Hyman. You know, Toronto had given permission to talk. We knew we had Zach Hyman. You know, I don't know if we don't sign the defenseman, you know, I'm not doing the deal for Bear, but when I made the decision to sign Ceci and Tyson Barrie, then I knew we had too many, you know, we had one extra right shot defenseman. I turned one into a forward. I'd been having lots of conversations with Don Waddell and at Carolina over the last 2 or 3 weeks. Don was my assistant manager in Detroit, 1997-98. So, you know, I know what he was looking for, and we had lots of talk, and that came together pretty quick. And there's a cap, you know, so, you know, my priority really was to try to put together, you know, a defense and then get deeper up front, but there's also a salary cap, so I can't go out and just keep spending, and then you get into the, you know, the $1 and the $1.5 million spots, and I'm not sure people are going to leave their situations to come here for $1 million, $1.5 million if they've got lots of different options.
The goaltending carousel, it seemed like every team in the league was looking for a goaltender. Was it that way with you too? I mean, lots of goalies were signing everywhere, or being traded or whatever. Is that how you saw it too?
Well, the only way that I can get in the goalie market, Jim, is if I trade a goalie. I mean, Mike Smith's got a 2-year deal at 2.2, and Mikko Koskin's got a 1-year deal at 4.5. So I could not get into the goalie carousel if you wanted me to because of contracts.
Daniel Ninja-Bowman, The Athletic.
Again, there's a report that just came out that you have signed Derek Ryan. Can you confirm that? And if so, what does he bring that you wanted to sign him?
Well, it's interesting because I've been on here so I don't know. I don't know. I was talking to his agent, and then I came down here and I don't know. So when I'm done with you guys, I'll find out.
I guess Mark Spector asked this, I think with Mark Spector anyway, last week, just in regards to, you know, taking this team. Do you feel like you have the team that that you could take into the season and you can add to, you know, during this season? Do you feel like you're at that point, or do you still want to make, you know, a few more moves to I know there's the LTIR situation, but I'm just wondering if you feel, you know, comfortable enough that you could take this team into the season and add to it, or if you would like to kind of finalize your team as best as you can now.
Is that in terms of, you want me to add to it in like trades?
Yeah, well, just I mean, you do have some cap room now, and I know you're obviously talking about adding a defenseman and things of that nature. Do you want to do that now, or are you kind of looking to kind of postpone that into the season?
Were you on my last availability when I explained LTI?
And I just referenced that.
Like when you go into LTI, you set your cap. So the cap's 81.5. If we get to 79 million and we go in LTI, Clefbaum goes in LTI, we're 79 million. We do not have $2.5 million to spend. We've set our cap at 79 million. So because you're in LTI, we are going to be in LTI. Clef's going in LTI. The question that you've asked me is not really possible.
Okay, yeah, I was just clarifying. Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Last question, Slav Kornick, Global.
Hi, Ken. I know you touched on the Cody Ceci signing. I just want to get more insight from you, I guess, in terms of why you thought he would be a good fit for the team.
Well, he's 27 years of age. He's played, 7, 8, 9 years of pro. You know, we were looking for a right shot defenseman, so somebody that could play right defense. You know, as we sit in the room up there, you know, over the course of, you know, when the draft ended on Sunday, you know, all our people are up in the room. We put up all the, you know, all the UFA left defensemen, the UFA right defensemen, the UFA centers, the UFA left wingers, the UFA goalies, the UFA right wingers, and had some people, then you got a cap and you kind of figured out who you got a chance to get, and you kind of figured out an amount. And, Cody Ceci was one of the people that was, close to the top of our list. We did our research, played, like I said, he played good in Pittsburgh this year, and I think that, at 27 years of age, I believe that 27-year-old players are, I don't know if they're getting worse. There's still a chance, that you can be a little bit on the upswing. So, it's a 4-year deal. It takes them from 27 to 31. What's the prime, non-superstars, probably prime years for non-superstars are 25 to 30. Superstars can start come in their prime when they're 22, 23, but being a non-superstar, he's really, in my opinion, between the age of 25 and 30, he's right in his prime years. He's a right defenseman. He's got experience. He's 6'2". He's going to give a dimension of size. He can. I think he can move the puck. We're looking for him to play steady and safe. Get the puck moved up. Does he play with Darnell Nurse? Does he play with Duncan Keith? Does he go in the third pair and Evan Bouchard moves up? I think that basically, I don't kind of sign these guys and say, oh, he's our second. It's going to be obviously Tyson Barrie had a great relationship on the ice with Darnell Nurse. Now, is Dave Tippett going to go with those guys? But basically, I think between Evan Bouchard, Cody Ceci, and Tyson Barrie, we've got 3 right shot defensemen, and then the coaching staff and the players with their play can figure out exactly where they fit. But like his age, I like his experience. And I like that he shoots, that he's a right shot defenseman, because obviously losing Adam Larson, and I wasn't sure 3-4 days ago if we were going to get Tyson Barrie. We were in need of adding at least 1 right shot defenseman. By adding 2 right shot defensemen, we've then used one of those right shot defensemen and Ethan Bear to go get a top 9 left winger that we think can pitch in some secondary scoring and get in the forecheck and help make us a little bit deeper up front and give us more options up front.